Hey, what's slicing everybody? Chris back with CAC Knives here with another knife review slash knife overview to share with you. Before we get into the video today, if you guys could consider subscribing and like the video, and let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into it. So this is a Zingbee knife, which is this is the first knife I've had experiencing this brand. And it is available on Amazon. Let's see if it has an exact model number here. But if you go on Amazon and you type in, Abalone Damascus Zingbee, this knife will come up. This is about a $40 knife. It does come with this really nice sheath if you prefer to carry it this way. I've been noticing a lot of these better Amazon, better brands that you can find on Amazon have been coming with these really nice sheaths, like my Turns knives that I've showed in previous videos. If you're going to check those out, they came with really nice sheaths as well. You also get a little how to do things with your knife form here in a couple different languages. In case you're new to knives. And it's always nice, I think, when knife companies give you some cleaning and oiling tips, especially for people that don't collect knives. If this is just going to be one, maybe two knives that you own, then, it's really helpful for people. But let's get into the knife. So while we do this review, let's keep in mind this knife costs $40, okay? So we're definitely in the budget line of knives here. And I couldn't fully find the composition of this core Damascus here. So I'm gonna guess it's some kind of CR Damascus, stainless, some kind of stainless Damascus here. I'm sure if you dug deep enough, you could find it, but most people aren't going to buy a knife like this as a workhorse knife. But let's look at that Damascus. Very pretty. It's a very good job that they did. It's a very cool, unique pattern too. I like how it's all the way on the end there, like you still have a little circle as if the design kept going. That's very neat. And again, with Damascus, I haven't done many videos, but there's a few ways that you can know if Damascus is real. One way is you can kind of feel it on the blade, which this one, you can feel a tiny bit, but you can't feel it much, okay? But there's a few other ways we can tell. For one, especially if you disassemble the knife, the Damascus will be all over it, okay? So it should be on both sides of the knife, everywhere, all right? Another surefire sign is on core Damascus, you're always gonna find this on the top, okay? Even on the fake ones. However, where you don't find it very often is, for one, inside of there. So you see how you can still see the core on the inside? That's where the pivot is. Okay, you can still see a core there, making it more than likely that this is real. You also still see a core. It's going to be a lot harder to show, but where the flipper is, maybe if I close the knife, I could show it better that way. Oh yeah, see, on both sides of the flipper here, you see the core? See that core Damascus? Yep. So this is definitely real Damascus in modern day terms of core Damascus. And why I keep saying core is there is a difference in core Damascus and regular Damascus. Let me get my Zingbee Elementum here so I can show you guys what I mean. Core Damascus means there is a steel wedged between two other steels, and generally the steel that's wedged between the two has a less corrosion resistance composition, but a higher, overall performance in terms of, how well the knife stays sharpened, Usually the steels on the outer edges are more tough, so the knife has a less chance of snapping. Though that can also be useful on the core as well, where this Damascus here is literally just two different steels folded. So this is two steels as well, but the core layer is the only steel that's being used to do the cutting. The layer that's in the middle, which is showing up pretty nice in that light there, you can see it. Core Damascus also, in most cases, tends to look pretty cool. You know, you can do a lot of different kind of acid etches and things with core Damascus that a lot of people have done. Let me get my Zingbee Gordo out, or Grotto, you know, I just never can pronounce that right, can I? And they have also done a core Damascus here, as you can see. And you can see the line on the top there as well. And yeah, so this Damascus is done like that. Now, it's probably, like I said, it's probably some budget steel, but core Damascus is an extra step at the factory. And you pretty much, if you're on Amazon and you see Damascus looking blades that I would say up $30 or less, be really careful. Even this core Damascus pretty much starts showing up, even on Amazon, at about the $35 to $40 range. And like I said, 40 is how much this is. So yeah, just be careful if you see it for cheaper than that. Read the reviews. If you can find a YouTube video, watch it before you buy it. Just don't waste your money on complete junk, okay? Now, was this likely made in China? Yeah, probably. But this knife is very, very nice looking. I didn't have an abalone folder in my collection, and the fact that this had an orange G10 backspacer and orange pivot rings just made the knife even better. Now, I have noticed the Zingbee brand, it's not a full exact copy, but a lot of their designs very heavily replicate Kershaw models. This, if I had one, I would show it to you, but it very much looks like the Kershaw Dividend. They have another model that very heavily resembles the Leek, but again, they're not exact copies. I have seen another YouTuber compare the Leek one to a Kershaw Leek, and they were not exactly the same. So at least they're not completely duplicating them, which I do appreciate, because I know that Dividend, as far as I know, isn't this thick for one, because this is a pretty thick knife for sure. Now it is on bearings. It is not assisted, so it's a full manual, and it just has a flipper, and that's all, which is fine. I mean, it's kind of meant for a more gentleman's carry. Now, one thing I was upset about, I mean, not insanely upset, it's not really the company's fault, but this pocket clip's not going to be really interchangeable. Those screws are very heavily placed apart, so if you want to do something like, you know, a Zingbee titanium clip, you're not going to be able to do it on this. The clip is very good, it functions very well, but it's fully deep carry, but it's just a stainless clip, so, you know, take that as you will. Now, as far as the abalone goes, it's very pretty abalone, shows very nice. As you can see, it sways really well in the colors. And abalone's not a material that's going to be for everybody, but I wanted one abalone knife in the collection. I didn't want to pay a huge amount of money for something like a case, and this fits the bill. So if you want to add an abalone knife to your collection, I definitely recommend this one for sure. Zingbee seems to be a good coming brand. They are just, you know, they're just a cheap budget brand that uses Amazon for their distribution of their knives, but, you know, there's plenty good budget knife brands on Amazon. And, you know, like Gonzo and Ifengro. I know Gonzo copies a lot of models. Ifengro used to do that. They don't do that anymore. Now they use original designs, but, you know, knives on Amazon, don't just dog them. Like, try them out first, because this knife looks, feels, and functions very good for $40, okay? And it also has a very nice look to it. So let's get some size comparisons going on here. Let's bring that Elementum back out real quick, just to show you what it looks like. Perfectly side by side there. Let's get my QSP Penguin out here. And as you can see, it's a pretty much average size knife, because these are, it doesn't get more average size than these two. I pretty much say that in every video, but you know, they are the, I would say, the community standard of an average EDC size knife. So then we're going to get the Spyderco Tenacious out here, or my version anyways. And then we got the good old Zingbee Rat Model 2. And as you can see, Rat 2, also average size knife. Tenacious is a little bit bigger, but not by much. And let's also get a couple traditionals out here, because I know a lot of people that watch my videos, they collect traditionals. So here's a toothpick, case toothpick, just to give you a cool little size comparison there. And here's a Rough Rider Trapper. So you can see what size the knife is compared to a couple things like that. Now, I'm actually surprised that they can make these knives for about 40 bucks. I mean, I know abalone can be an expensive material. They, you know, they're probably using cheaper slabs of abalone, which is fine. Like, I don't have any problem with it at all. It's just surprising that we can get these things for cheaper, or as cheap as we can, I should say. I have carried this knife a couple times, and I can gladly say that, you know, I'll throw my phone in my pocket. Sometimes there's change, sometimes my keys are in there, and it has not scratched the clear plastic or resin or whatever is being used here to keep this. I think it's just a layer of plastic over top of the thin layer of abalone in there. Now, you do got to be careful if you get this knife when things have kind of plastic or resin handles like this and you take it apart. Be very careful not to crack it. It's a very big deal. I really don't recommend taking this one apart. If you're wanting a knife for hard use, this is probably not going to be it. This is more of a looker. I mean, you could definitely use it to open up boxes and everything for sure. There's nothing wrong with that. But as far as, you know, continuing to bang on it and everything, I think the plastic will scratch and break, but that'd be the same for anything like this. That's just how the material is, because it's, you know, it's layers over the abalone, and that stuff is very vulnerable. So it's not really a hard use, it's more of a easy use knife. Now, as far as the blade shape, it's got that kind of Warncliffe style blade, which is awesome because it's got a little bit of a curve to it, but they're very easy to sharpen. They gave you plenty of room back here for a choil to be able to sharpen. I also like the nice kind of down with the blade because it allows you to put your finger here and choke up for more precise cut if you need to. It's overall a very good knife. And I thought the plastic would be uncomfortable, but it's really not. The only thing I think I would have added maybe is maybe a little bit of jimping right here, but you know, it didn't have to be there. Like, you still got a pretty good grip. I mean, this stuff is kind of slippery, but you get a nice, my fingers kind of close in on the G10 backspacer here, and that gives me some grip. But I mean, what do you expect? There's not gonna be much grip on a knife like this. Like, there's just not gonna be. And if you're buying it for hard work, like I said, hard use, I would not buy this knife for hard use. I would buy it because you like the looks of it, because you like having something different in your collection, or because you want something a little nicer to, you know, cut tape and open packages and things like that in. It's definitely a very good slicer. Very slicey knife. Very, very thin edge. Very thin edge. But yeah, that'll do it for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think. These kind of styles aren't usually my thing, but I like having one in the collection. I know it's very flashy. I know my daughter likes this one a very lot, a heck of a lot. It's because it's rainbow colored on the handle, so She always likes this one. But that'll do it for today, guys. We hit 400 subscribers this week, or this last week, so thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. At 500, I will do my first giveaway, which I'm very excited for, and the quicker we get there, the quicker we can do the giveaway. I already have the knife here that I'm going to be giving away, and, you know, I'm not going to announce that till it's time. But, yeah, I really appreciate you guys that have been sticking around. Last year, I really started kicking it in with the channel, and I'm going to continue to do so. I still have a lot of cool stuff to show you guys and to review, and we will keep them coming. Have a good week.